Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the channel. Thank you for being part of the community. And for those of you, again, I say this often, but it really is so rewarding when I see you guys commenting on each other's comments. So it's always supportive and uplifting, and I absolutely love it. So thank you. All right, so Friday. This is the Friday reading. Woohoo! Made it to Friday. So anyway, everything feels a little calmer. And it's like we've had a little bit of a roller coaster this week. First, it felt directed and focused and calm, and then it just kind of felt all wild and crazy. And then, it's just been that roller coaster. But we have had some days of just, excuse me, kind of being on cruise control, as I like to call it. And so at least we're having a few of those sprinkled in between. And so I think for the vibe, the Friday vibe is one of here's the message. Remember to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Remember to enjoy what you've worked so hard for all week, all work week. So when I picked up my mug, isn't this pretty? It's just a little wildflower with a bee and a butterfly. Oh, and another little one. Another little flying thing there. A little tiny butterfly or moth. I'm not sure which one, but anyway. So it just feels like stop and enjoy and notice the flowers or smell the roses, so to speak. So I feel like the Friday vibe is one of take a deep breath. It is a day to relax and slide on into the week. And it is actually a holiday weekend as well. And Monday is Labor Day, I know, in the United States and Canada. And so it's even more apropos to slow down and enjoy where you are. Take the time to enjoy where you are, okay? And all the work you've done. Because we have all done a whole lot of work, even if we don't think we have or we think we have to do more. You know what? For just today, it's enough. It is enough. So I hope you enjoy yourself today and as we move into the weekend. All right, so, and to go along with that, what I'm going to do after having a little sip of my coffee, and I tried, my hair was down, but I just got so, already, I have been hotter than normal, and now my hormones are all fine. They're all where they should be, I'm pretty sure. So, taking my medicine and all that, but it's just been really, really, I started to sweat just doing basic stuff around the house. So up it went. So anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I do actually sometimes try to be presentable on a video, but usually I just show up. But that's real, All right, so I wanted to stay with some decks for the general message, because that is the vibe and the energy. My pen is showing there. I put it up with a pen. The energy for the energetic vibe for the day is what I just said about stop and take the time to rest and enjoy. Just, I feel like it's almost someone sitting back and either watching your family or watching the garden grow or it's everybody, I feel like, has been extra busy this week. So this Friday, this is the day to enjoy. Just sit back. And how often do we do that? We're always thinking about the next thing that needs to be taken care of instead of enjoying what we've done and where we are. That is a huge message. If I don't say one other thing, the first less than 5 minutes, that's your big message. So, in keeping with that, we're going to have some like lighter, hopefully, energies come through with the cards. Now, once I get into the cards, who knows? This is a general reading, by the way. It is a general reading. This cannot resonate with everyone. Hi, my name's Holly. I am, I am a psychic medium, and what else? Oh yeah, I'm an energy reader predominantly, and so I use cards as a jumping off point. And when I opened this deck, the Crystal Connections by Adam Barrelay. And Adam Barrelay has a channel. That's how I found him, as a matter of fact. And I ordered the cards on Amazon. I love these. I think they're beautiful. He is so well versed in all things gemstones. He and a lady named Shannon Marie. I like her stuff. She has some books that she's written, and she has a very different way of classifying them and working with them and figuring out what stones you need to work with and creating your core little group of ally stones. And it's just, I really like both of those people. So it's Adam Barrelay with these cards, and Shannon Marie with her, I think her channel is called Wisdom Seekers, or anyway, just type in Shannon Marie and crystals and it'll come up. So anyway, but the one that was I opened to the middle of the deck is Howlite. Howlite is often dyed blue, and it's called they put a lot of words with it that make you think it's actual turquoise, like mined turquoise. But if it ever says turquoise color or turquoise or anything at all instead of it is turquoise, then more than likely it's dyed howlite, which I find to be a shame, because howlite naturally is like this. It is white with a black matrix and a smoky color, kind of grayish in between. Beautiful stone. And it is one of, as a matter of fact, it made me think of Shannon Marie because it's one of the ones that she talks about and is, I think, one of her favorites. I'm not positive, but it is a stone that instills a positive, it's like a positive companion, a grounding, calming, soothing companion. And I think howlite is on its own beautiful. I don't think it ever needs to be dyed, but I even have some around here that's been dyed green, some of it that's been dyed blue, and but I actually prefer just the white howlite, and it is a natural stone. All right, so let's see what else. So maybe someone needs a crystal friend, and howlite would be a lovely one. So, and if anyone is wondering, I don't think you can extract the dye from it. There are ways that you can tell if turquoise is really turquoise, but anyway. All right, well, we got stuff coming out all over the place here on that one. Well, I don't know if we need all of these, but let's see what we've got. Now, we talked about opal earlier in the week, and I said it reminded me of a very flashy moonstone, and we have the card Moonstone. Let's just go through these. Tiger's Eye, a chatoyant stone, very protective stone. Moss agate. It looks like it has strands of living moss running through it, but it really isn't. It's a mineral, but it is not actually live moss that's in there. This is one of my favorite ones. Septarian. It's several different minerals together. And one of the minerals that creates that yellowish kind of translucent part of it is, I think, calcite. I can't remember exactly, but it's like 3 different stones in one. And it's sometimes you'll hear them referred to as dinosaur eggs. They are beautiful and kind of ancient. And sometimes you see them in slabs. All stones are ancient. Let's get real. Every single one of these are like millions of years old. Chrysocolla. Okay, we're gonna get into all these. Now there's chrysoprase and chrysocolla is a combination, if I am not mistaken, of malachite, possibly azurite, maybe chrysoprase. I don't remember exactly. You can look it up. It's easy. Zircon. Love zircon. Zircon is often used as a diamond replacement, and it comes in all different colors. It has a really good gem quality. Zircon has the same refractivity of like a low-end diamond, or not a low-end, that sounds bad, of a a diamond that would still be set in jewelry, but it's not like the top of the line diamond with the total clarity. It's and zircon comes in all sorts of colors. There's cinnamon, pink, blue, and they are natural colors. So everything is usually heat treated to make it pop a little more. And by the way, cubic zirconia is actually named after zircon, but it is not. Zircon is a natural, out of the ground mined stone. It is not cubic zirconia. All right, and then we have, which I have cubic zirconia. I love it. It's pretty. So then we have rhodochrosite. Some people call that the bacon stone because it looks like a slab of bacon. Rhodochrosite and rhodonite are often confused, but rhodonite has more black flecks in it and more of the matrixing, whereas rhodochrosite, and you can get a gemmy rhodochrosite that doesn't have any of that matrixing looks. It almost looks like mica. It's real iridescent and pretty. And that's a very gentle, loving kind of stone, but with a little bit of strength and oomph behind it. And then you have onyx. I know, this is not Gemstone 101, and I'm not an expert. But onyx, we have, okay, so what we have in here, stones that are shiny, stones that are loving energy, stones that are good, like the chrysocolla, great for communication, great for teaching, great for learning, grounding, septarian, protection, that and the tiger's eye. And I'm not going to read the backs of these because there's a ton of them, but my point is, with all of those, they cover a certain range of spectrum and emotions. Insight, throat, so crown, throat, I'm going through the chakras. So your downloads from spirit, your ability to vocalize what you need and what's coming through, protection, to know that you are protected and that you are part, this is what I'm hearing. You are part of an ancient culture. So it doesn't matter what your origins are, what your family origins are. Everyone belongs or has a lineage in this lifetime and many other lifetimes to original cultures. So it doesn't matter which one it is. Just know that you belong to something much bigger than yourself. And once you get even past that, you belong to the culture of the soul. You belong to the intensity and immensity of the soul light, the soul energy. And that connects you to every other person, animal, even trees, blades of grass. Everything contains energy. And that connects you to the all that is, that created all of it. Every last bit of it. Now, once you realize that, it definitely changes the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. There cannot be any such thing as an us versus them or them versus us, because we're all the same. So watch the plants. That's coming back to that message. It feels like there's a message in that too, that something about watching the plants today, watching wildlife, watching nature today is going to have importance and resonance for someone. I would be very curious how that turns out, and if anybody has something that that they can or want to share about that as the day progresses. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so now let's move on to some messages with Spirit's help and the help of Tarot from the Weispel. I've got other decks sharing that box. Here we go. The Weispel Wild Reflections Tarot. Okay. This is an interesting deck in that, it doesn't want me to do it that way. Do it this way. It has a lot of, speaking of ancient cultures, it has a lot of mixed imagery and symbols, and it's like I don't understand where it's coming from sometimes in terms of, like, if you were reading the mythology or the history or the folk tales of XYZ culture, they just kind of mishmash them all together in this deck, and it's fun. So we're going to go with it. We're going to roll with it. Spirit guides and guardians, our beloved elementals. Dear God, guide us in every way. Guide our words, thoughts, deeds. Guide us to know the truth of situations. Help me to understand what to communicate based on the cards that come out, and only provide those which will give us the information we need for the answers and the information that will best guide the greater part, or not the greater, but the larger segment of the collective. Thank you. Usually these go like flying up in the air so fast because they're very slick, and so that's some of it. Okay, this one on top in the, I feel like I need to put that aside for some reason. Okay, let me explain how these came out. So here's the deal. Oh, there are two here. I thought it was one card, but when I had shuffled and I put them down, they just seemed to be moving on their own up to like outward from the deck, and that's happened a few times so far this week. I thought it was one card, so I thought, okay, we'll take it. It's actually two. Let's see what they are. Well, 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 isn't that interesting? Let me get my glasses. Hold on. All right, so we have those two, and then this one came out. Wow, these are kind of cool. They really are. What was this one? Okay, I'll show you these. I'll show them to you, and then we will talk about it, and I will get Spirit to just step in. All right. And I'm not a trained card reader. I am an energy reader. I've always been a psychic medium, not a card reader. I love them, so that I do use them as a jumping off point, but I always ask Spirit, okay, step in so I don't screw up. I have no problem saying that. Okay, so we've got the Fool with her little fox. Page of Cups. The Chariot. Interesting. I need to remember that thought. Help me remember that thought about that other card. Judgment. The Hermit. And the one that I pulled off to the side that is not necessarily part of this reading, but I feel like it's, if this were a movie, this would be the prequel. Five of Pentacles. Now, what's interesting about this Five of Pentacles card, Five of Pentacles usually is being left out in the cold, abandonment, destitution. But in this instance, this person has a backpack. And there is a cabin. It almost feels more like they're walking toward it than away from it. So maybe they have felt forlorn, isolated, or abandoned, but they're seeking refuge. They're seeking refuge, and they're moving into what will be a safe place. So I think that's the starting point for this. So for the starting point for this reading, someone has questioned where they belong, and they are just now starting to step into finding, because also coming up a lot this week has been, it's not what you live in, but it's not where you live, but your home is so much more than that. It is your safe place and your sanctuary. It could be a one room, or it could be a mansion, but as long as you've got your home that you are invested in, because that's where you feel safest, then that's come up a lot too. And I feel like this is someone who is moving away from that sense of isolation and moving into finding a place of refuge and, finding a place of home. Now, to start with the Fool, that would make sense. That's a new beginning, a new adventure. I just get that this is a dancer. So this is someone with a carefree, joyous attitude. And whereas this person's all bundled up in the dead of winter with a backpack and ready to get in there and get their nice warm cup of coffee, this person is in the spring of his or her life. They're in the spring of their life. They're young. They have a sense of freedom, and they're about to take that leap. So I feel like we've come around full circle somewhere. And the message I got earlier that I kept saying I have to remember that about this card, the Page of Cups, it felt like a young person. So I feel like, and this would make sense with the Fool card. So this is a young person at the beginning of life, beginning of a journey, beginning of their adventure, in love with life. In love with life. That's what that feels like to me. A youthful zest for life. Now, this could be someone who's older, but they're experiencing that youthful zest for life and love all over again, or it could be truly someone at the beginning stage. So this could be a niece, a nephew, a son, a daughter, whatever it is. Then we move into the Chariot. Things speed up. Something happens. Something I feel like happens between this blissful, no bills, no worry, nothing, everything's taken care of, a loving family, no strife. Well, not much anyway, not in the grand scheme of things. Things are speeding up fast. Things are changing. Things are changing fast. They're trying to understand how to find balance in a world. Every time I get this card or I look at it, it always makes me feel like the person who had to put their dreams and aspirations aside because everyone relied on her to get things done, to get things taken care of. She didn't have time to stop and smell the flowers because there was always somewhere to go and someone to get and a bill to be paid, and someone had to do this and someone needed that, and somebody had a medical appointment and someone had to go to practice and somebody had to. This woman feels a million miles away from the girl she probably was at one point. But you know what? And it seemed to happen in the blink of an eye. But then this happens, the Hermit. And we are in Virgo season, and this is the card of Virgo. There is a sense of going within, finding time to stop, to notice the flowers. This is coming up over and over. Learning to delegate responsibility. Learning to make people a little more responsible for themselves. We need some clarifiers. I want to use the same deck too. I want to use the same deck for the clarifiers. This one just popped out sideways, but when it did, I heard, no, not this one, not this deck. They want the Light Seers Tarot. But let's take a look at this. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Change is happening. This isn't usually the card you see with change, but you know what? Those sunflowers, everything is starting to come into fruition. All the hard work, all those delayed dreams, the dreams deferred. I know that's a line from a poem. I'm not stealing it. It's a line from a poem. life just racing and speeding, going at the speed of sound and light, where you barely have time to breathe and you have forgotten how to wear your bright colors. And then you go within. Things have got to change, and they will, and they are about to come to fruition. Now let's see what this is all about, because I feel like there could be two different readings in here. One, there's a parent and a child that's struggling with each other and with life decisions. That time will fix. The most imperative situation is the person who feels like their life has passed them by. And they're so busy taking care of, they want me to look at this one right now. Yeah. They feel like life has passed them by, and they're so busy taking care of everyone else. They're just watching and feeling like their life is moving along without them. They're just watching and waiting, almost like waiting for their own end, because they feel like their life is over. And they sometimes have to wonder, what happened to all those dreams and desires and aspirations that I had? What is the message you have for them, Spirit? What is the message that you have for anyone in that situation? Caught it? Nice. What I'm hearing is that sometimes goals and dreams change. And it's not about what you accomplish. Okay, I guess I'll just take all that and leave it. It's not about what you accomplish, but it's about the bonds that you form. It's about the soul connections that you make. And yes, everyone would like to have the luxury of luxuries and respect, maybe even power. But ultimately, what Spirit is telling me is that a life well lived is not in the accumulation. A life well lived and not losing your zest for life. The dreams and aspirations you had as a child are going to be different, because experience teaches you the most important lessons, and that's that your heart light, your heart and your emotions and the bonds that you form are far more important than anything else. I know there are sayings that go along with this, like the richest person is not measured in gold, but the richest person is measured in relationships. Something like that. And do you just give and give and give? Or are you on the receiving end as well? Okay. So let me get these flipped over really fast, because there's a whole lot of them that came out. Oh, my word. Well, Judgment Lady is in for a nice time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got the King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. What is that? Ace of Swords. We had the Ace of Swords in the Thursday reading, and it was about information coming in. King of Wands. We had the King of Wands come up twice in the Thursday reading. The Hanged Man, different perspective. The Page of Wands. I love that card. That is just pure joy. And then we have, boom, 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 we got the Emperor. That's a good card to have in this situation in particular. Two of Pentacles. We had that in the Thursday reading too. The Death card. The Moon. And I thought it was the Strength card in yesterday's reading, but it was the Chariot. Today it is the Strength card. And then we've got the Three of Swords. Don't get all worried because it ends on that card. Because what that tells me is that your heartbreak is over and you're strong enough to get over it. You are strong enough to move on. And what will be coming to you, because this whole reading has kind of gone backwards and then looped back to the present, and then now we're going to back, and it's jumped around. So this is not necessarily oh yeah, I've already used those. This is not a linear reading. Okay, it started with the Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold, but then moving toward that well-lit, warm, inviting cabin. It didn't feel like that person was walking away to me. That's just not the message I got. We move on into what I'm hearing is the doldrums of life. All work, no play, no smiles, no light, no breath, no color, or depth and breadth of color. But then you have this, and you have those beautiful yellow sunflowers, and they are growing to fruition. And then on the bottom line, it's like an explosion of color. You got the King of Cups, you've got the King of Wands, you have an Emperor, you have rebirth, you have news coming in, you have a change of perspective. You don't know this is coming with the Moon. You don't know this is coming at all. And then you have the Strength card, because you're strong enough and you want to believe and have hope that there will be good things coming to you. All right, now, and then what I love when they're like, hey, you've got. So it's, I have a very special relationship with my guides, and they just like put it on out there. What all of this says to me is someone gave up. Someone gave up on having happiness and joy in his or her life because they decided to almost be a martyr and just dive into the world of work, responsibility, and making sure everyone else had what they needed. And you know, that's not a bad place to be, because we have to do that sometimes, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on your own life and your own joy and your own love. You get to stop and notice nature. Notice the flowers. Notice a butterfly flying around your head, or the dragonflies. The dragonflies have been out in force and they will follow you. And it's such a beautiful message. Someone, if this reading, and this is a general reading, but if this reading resonates with you and you have been wondering, what is it all for? What it's all for is that you are taking care of your responsibilities, but you're going to take care of yourself in the meantime. You're also going to start delegating a little bit, making other people a little more responsible, so that you can start taking care of yourself and your needs. Because when you do, a door, not a window, a door is going to open up and someone's going to walk through it. You are going to be looking at how we don't measure the quality of our lives by, whether you've got someone in it. No. I had a friend that used to tell me all the time, I needed to get a man in my life. And at the time I was busy with work. And God love her, but it's like, I don't want just a warm body, So what this spread is talking about is not that attitude of, well, you just have to have someone to have someone. You're about to have someone in your life because it means something. It is home for you. This is someone or a group or people that feel like they are going to enhance and enliven and turn the lights on in the house. They are not going to be yet another drain on you, or you're going to live the rest of your life always walking on the outside of that cabin looking in at the joy and the happiness of others, the light-filled bright cabin that was in that Five of Pentacles card. And it starts with one small step, and that is stopping to thank yourself and be grateful for all the work you've done, and be glad for where you are. And as soon as I feel like that happens, and I feel like it's coming up in the next week, so don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I feel like once we cross over into September officially, you better watch out and be ready. And also, someone needs to hear this too. Don't think you have to go on some crazy strict diet or change yourself and be date ready or whatever. No. However you are right now, someone is going to absolutely fall in love with you just as you are. Because they're going to see past maybe the need for a little spruce up or whatever, or if you're a little fluffy. It's okay. It is okay, and you are just fine. You've been busy, and you've had a lot of work to do. So you know what? It is true. There is someone for everyone, and I feel like if this is your reading, and you've wondered what happened to me, what happened to the kid I was who was full of excitement and thought I was going to change the world or do whatever or travel here and there, what happened to that person? That person is still inside you, but they've matured. And they're better than they ever were because they've got years of life and experience behind them. I'm just feeling so passionate about this. Okay, and so what this means is that Spirit, help me out here. What is the final message? Oops, sorry about that. Nice thing, I love these little tins, but they make a lot of noise. What is the message to wrap up this reading? God, I've been going on for a while now. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Whoops. The message is, be open to change. Be open to the possibility. But look with a discerning eye. Spirit has lined someone up for you, or has lined up circumstances in such a way that you will find your perfect companion. Remember, wealth is not measured by how much you have. True wealth is measured in the connections we make. Now, if you're lucky enough to have both, go on with your bad self, hey, more power to you. But when we die and we cross over, you're not greeted by pots of gold. You're greeted by the souls of all those who have gone on before you and are so happy to see you again. Oh. And that's pets and humans alike. So, your time has not been wasted. Your time has been learning and growing as a human being to enrich every part of you and who you are. Okay. Be open to the possibility that your life could look different and feel different, and that's okay. And if you are feeling like you are fighting this fight alone, or everything is coming down on your head, be open to possibilities. Okay? And just as you would hope someone would have a little grace with you, make sure you have a little grace with them too. Okay? None of us are 20 any longer, okay? Or even 30 or even 40 or even 50. So, you know what? It's all going to be okay. It is all going to be okay. I'm sending you so much love. This was a beautiful reading, and the emotions of it are really intense, and I'm trying to chalk it up to, oh, I'm just a little tired, so it's going to make me a little weepy. No, it's the content of that reading and the emotions that I felt. But not crying from a bad place, but from just the happiness and the tenderness I could feel coming from it. So I'm going to go finish this. And I am wishing all of you the best possible Friday. Take time to rest. Because I think starting over the weekend, I think it could be over the weekend or next week, keep your eyes open and keep your heart open. I'm sending all of you so much love. Thank you. All right, everybody. We'll talk later.